Bow wow.
Welcome to DogStar. This week we have the pleasure of sitting down with the one, the only, Tori Little. How you feeling?
Hey. I'm feeling good. It's nice outside. Traffic wasn't super bad. I got here. We're all here. As great as I can feel.
Yeah, very punctual, very professional. We're really excited to sit down with you.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, we should jump right in.
Yes.
We want to get the complete origin story of Tori Little. You've been making music now for a handful of years, and we're just wondering
what are the influences? Take us back as far back as what's your earliest musical memory? Whether it was something being played around the house or singing in church.
Earliest memories, musical memories. I've been singing since I was like probably 4 or 5. My mom is a great singer. I think I got my voice from her. Kind of got worse over the years, but yeah, I think I got my voice from her. As far as influences, I love Erykah Badu, Alicia Keys, like all the female R&B ladies of like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
But yeah, R&B, oh my gosh, as far back as I can remember, like, I can't even put a date or like a time frame on it. As far back as I can remember, since I was in the womb, my parents have been playing the R&B, a little bit of the hip hop, some of the rap, old school mostly, but most of that R&B. I've been singing since I was like I said, 4 or 5. 6 or 7, I started getting into choir, variety shows. I really started writing my own music at about 12, 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wrote my first song at 13 years old, and it was about my mom. You know how teenagers and parents go through things.
Do you remember any of them?
Yeah, like, I love you, but oh my gosh, you get on my nerves. I wasn't cussing or nothing. My parents wasn't going for that.
Expressing yourself.
Literally.
Was that choir through church or school or?
School, and then actually outside of school through the district. So I've been in choir since elementary school, middle school, high school. And elementary school, I actually was going through the district program outside of school. So like I go to school from 7 to 3, get on a bus and go to a different school and go to choir practice for 2 hours. And then we'd have concerts like once a month, twice usually during like the holiday season. But
so you were no stranger to a crowd from an early age, or did you?
It was cool because I had the choir with me. I wasn't alone.
It wasn't individual.
Right. But otherwise, like, I definitely participated in any talent shows, any variety shows, any little local competitions they would have. Yeah, my dad was trying to get me out there early.
What was one of the first talent shows you can remember?
So I went to Fair Oaks Elementary in Brooklyn Center.
Okay.
And I was probably 2nd or 3rd grade, I think. And we were in choir and I love singing. My friends are like, oh my gosh, you have such a good voice. I'm like, thank you. Something, I wasn't really too aware of it yet. My mom and my family always told me to sing, so it was nothing crazy. But I remember 3rd grade, Fair Oaks at the talent show, I sang Umbrella by Rihanna. I remember because I had the umbrella for my little performance.
Yeah. No way.
Everyone loved it. My friends loved my voice. My mom and dad were there. Oh my gosh. That was like when I really was like, okay, I have a nice voice. I need to do something with this.
Yeah.
So then every single year since then, talent show. Any talent show, variety show that the school had. I went to Cooper High School. I did their variety show. I was actually in, do you guys know where Austin, Minnesota is?
Southern Minnesota?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Austin. So Young Gravy is from Rochester. And it's literally an hour south from there. And I went there for middle school and a couple years of high school. And everyone in that town knew me because of my voice. Literally.
Wow.
Like the girl who was the singer. I talk kind of fast. So like, oh, so you rap. Around that time, I was kind of rapping a little bit too.
Right.
So yeah, I've been knowing I'm going to do music for as far back as I can remember.
You mentioned your parents were both supportive or kind of pushing you into it. Did either one of them do music at all?
So my mom, she's always been a singer, but they both kind of pursued music for a little bit, probably like 2 or 3 years when I was like 4 or 5 or 6. Nothing too crazy. They didn't have a big group or anything, no title, just making music around the house, making music with their friends. Nothing too wild. And it was around then when they kind of wanted to like get me in the booth and have me do like little ad libs or little singing in the cousin and they showed their friends and like, who's that? That's my baby Tori. They're like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Otherwise I have a cousin who also does music as far back as I can remember. He's pretty local. They love him in the UK. He goes by Mike Nicole. You guys ever heard of him?
Okay, I don't think I've heard of him personally.
Yeah. If you ever see him, just know that's my cousin. Yeah. You'll hear our voices and you're like, oh yeah, they're blood.
You ever collaborate with them?
I haven't yet, no. I haven't, surprisingly. Yet. When I was like I said, when I was like 4 or 5, he was still pretty young too doing music. And he had did a song around like Father's Day. And it had me, all of my cousins, and in the background, it was called Make Me Proud. It was dedicated to all the fathers and their kids.
Cool.
And that was when I really, like, around the time when they were really like, oh my gosh, you guys have to do something with her voice.
Wow.
And yeah, it was so funny because I always forget that, like, that's like a core memory in my mind. But oh yeah, everyone, not everyone, but the few people in my family who do music, strong with it, which is me and him. And then my parents, they dabbled in it, but never really took it serious. And now I'm trying to.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, after you.
Oh, I was going to ask about, so you say you were writing your own songs at like 12.
13. Yeah.
But then you're talking about these talent shows doing covers. So when was the first time that you performed a song that you wrote?
So that might have been 13, 14. I was still living in Austin, and they would do like, it's a really small town. Like I couldn't even, population's probably like 500, nothing too crazy.
Born and raised in Austin?
Born there, raised up here. I was here from kindergarten to 7th grade, and I was down there all through middle school, my first 2 years of high school, and then I was up here my junior and senior year and graduated from Cooper.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I've been back and forth. I know the town life, I know the city life. I love the city life. I knew that the town life was not for me, but it was nice. Everyone knew who I was. Everyone knew my parents. It was a small town. Everyone knows everyone. So when I was able to perform, when I did do my first song, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, she's. I see what she's doing. That's so and so's daughter. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was local, but it was, like I said, it was a small town. Everyone knew everyone. But that was the first time ever doing my own song that I wrote at 13, 14 years old about my mom.
And
that's the one you did in front of people?
Wow.
Yeah.
What was some of the feedback? Any teachers or friends or students say anything? If you can remember.
Aunts and uncles. Okay, so, you and your mom going through it? I'm like, no, we just have our differences. But yeah, no, it was a bunch of good feedback. Just, wow, like, you're really writing and sounding like this at the age of 13. You need to keep going and doing what you're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I stopped for a little while, but took it back serious after about 18, 19.
What made you stop for a little while?
The move back, or
the move back, kind of trying to get resituated where I am, adapting to where I am. And then I had family members kind of trying to implement my head, like, okay, we know you love music, but like, what are you going to do to pay the bills? You can't make a career singing. You can't just go around singing places. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're pretty right. At least, not in Minnesota. So what do I want to do? So all through the rest of middle school and high school, I kind of put it on pause, was trying to adjust to just going to school, figuring out something to do after, knowing it's not going to be music. So I was just kind of, I don't want to say miserable, but knowing that I had to put it on pause didn't feel right. And then doing it for so long, it's like after graduation, I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta get back into music. I just wasted so much time. But yeah, after that was when I was like, need to bring that back.
Yeah, how'd you find your way back into it?
So that's when Push was created.
Oh,
right. So I met the CEO, Mr. Juice Skywalker, in case you're watching this, because I know you're going to say I didn't shout you out. Juice and then AK Fields. I met them my senior year of high school through a mutual friend. I found out AK's been doing music as far back as he can remember, all through middle school, elementary. And I'm like, I was doing music too. Are you any good? I heard him rap and I'm like, oh yeah, we got to do something here. There's something going on. You need to keep doing music. I got to keep doing music.
Right.
Juice is like, hey, I'm going to college. I can get a degree and kind of manage you guys. And we're like, okay, let's do that. So we sat in AK's basement one night for like 3 hours trying to come up with a title for like, okay, so what are we going to call ourselves? Like, we came up with like 763 Entertainment, Yellow Tape Records, AIM Records, so many unnecessary, weird, just out of the ordinary things. And then one of their brothers came up and was like, what about Push? We're like, Push. Okay. Sounds cool. Okay, what is it gonna mean? We're like, what can this go for? So we're like, persevere under society's hate. Okay, that's so we made it an acronym. It's kind of something we're already doing in everyday life. Why not show it through our music?
Right.
So from there, history was created. We've been trying to stay silent since and just keep on moving up, pushing through. And yeah, ever since then I've had them as a team and it's been great.
That's so amazing. That's awesome.
It's been a great way to dive back in. It was nice to try and do it by myself, but having that team behind you, it kind of gives you that that extra boost of confidence. Like, oh yeah, I can do this. I have people that are always here with me that know I can do this too.
That's so
Let's do this together. and it's been great.
Was it that mutual friend who introduced you, or was it you asking your mutual friend? What was the initial contact?
The initial contact was literally just a bunch of high school friends hanging out at a party. And then probably a year later, we're like, I graduated high school. I was starting to go into college. I wasn't really liking it. Mm-hmm. They were at their daily jobs. AK was still doing his regular music thing, but he wasn't he was consistent with it, but he just wasn't as much out there as he is with us now as a group, having that team behind him to kind of push him through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say initially I wasn't even looking to start like a group or anything with music. They just told me that he used to do music, and I was like, oh, I used to do music too. Let me see what you guys got. And then from there, we all kind of had the same feeling, like, okay, if we all kind of feel the same way, let's see what we can do about it. But yeah, from the initial meeting, it was never, oh, you do music. It was just, hey, this is so-and-so. And we all just hung out. And then a year later, like after hanging out, seeing each other so many times, it was like, so you like music? I like this music too. You make music? I make music too. It's funny how it all came together because we weren't at all looking for it, but we all had the same interests. So we just figured, why not do it together?
Yeah, that's amazing how it came together.
Literally.
And like, rare. Like everybody wants to be part of a group, you know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
It's
so
fun.
Like,
Everyone
how did that solidify from just like hanging out for a second time? Like, was it like, let's hang out and talk about music? Or like, how did it?
So after the year of being friends.
Yep, after the year of being friends, seeing each other at like gatherings, hanging out, not even worried about music. We all sit down and we're like, okay, so like, I remember Juice messaged me. He's like, hey, AK said you do music. Can I hear what you got? Can we put you on a feature with him? And that was one of the first couple songs I did with him. And looking back now, I think I was like, 18 or 19. And it was one of the first couple times I was back in the studio after not being in the studio since the age of 13.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't like how I sound. I don't like this. I don't know how I feel about this. But they were like, no, you got to keep going. You have a really good voice. You just need to focus on what you want to do. So as far as us making it more solidified, Juice got his degree, his associates in arts, and he's still going. So we were able to make that actual LLC, to make that real, Push LLC. So that was all of us. We each signed a contract to make sure we're all together under the same thing, focused on the same thing. As far as us being friends and knowing each other, we were already there. So everything just came down to business at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
You mentioned Push LLC. In our research, we saw one of your music publishers is Tori LLC.
Yeah,
Is that affiliated with? I mean, obviously it's a separate entity,
correct.
but are there affiliates at least?
Yep. We're Push as a collective, but we're all each our own individual artists as well. So gotta make sure.
Yeah, just had to ask.
No, I appreciate that. I forget sometimes, so thank you.
We've got about 5 minutes until our first break.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you about the misery you had mentioned about taking a break from music. Is that why your persona and your outlook on life is so positive nowadays? Is from that kind of lack of being able to express yourself?
I could absolutely say yes to that. Definitely. I'm naturally a positive person. I don't try to let anything get me down. But when it comes to music, it just touches my soul. So it's like when I wasn't able to do that, it's like, okay, I'm not at peace with myself. Yeah. Like I can't connect with myself because I'm not able to do what I love, but it's understandable. We have everyday life we got to go through, got to pay bills. We need money. If music can't do that, I'll accept that. But yeah, as far as that misery coming from that, definitely, I don't know, because I always had friends and family around me always telling me like, okay, you got to focus on this. Like music will always be there. And it's like, I know, but I want it to be my main thing. It's what makes me happy. It's what wakes me up in the morning. It's what helps me heal. Like it literally touches my soul. And some of them were understanding, some of them weren't. They're like, we hear you, we agree with you, we know, but you just got to make sure you can get food on the table. You can provide for yourself. You can do all that. And I'm like, I can, but I can't do music at the same time, So it's like once I turned 18, 19, I kind of just flush it all out. Like I'm not listening to anything you guys have to say. You guys could tell me what to do now, but I really don't have to listen to you in a sense. But I didn't have to over the years. But now it's like I've spent so much time listening to what you were saying, taking it into consideration. Now I'm like, it's my time to do what I want to do. I'm gonna make music. I love how I sound. The people love my voice. If they love it, I got to give them more. It's not even about the money. It's about putting a smile on their face and feeling that music in your soul, because that's where it is. Yeah, the misery definitely came with that.
What music were you listening to during that period?
Honestly, I think not. I tried to avoid depressing music, but probably a lot of rap. Like I went through a really hard Tupac phase during when I was living in Austin. Everything was Tupac from the age of like 12, 13 to like 15. So I was really no one could tell me what to do. I want to be a rebel, but it's like, oh, but I love that I have that soft R&B side. So it's like,
totally.
Anything I listen, honestly, anything. But I really, that was, like I said, that was my Tupac phase. So anything that was Tupac or around that 90s R&B rap or 90s rap era, I was vibing with it. It was just touching me very deep. No one wants to listen to me. No one's understanding my struggle. I want to make music. So yeah. That was about that time.
And I wanted to ask, so I guess you started pretty young, so maybe not, but did you have any other like artist names as you went through your journey? Because it's Tori Little now, and I'm pretty sure it was just Tori.
Yeah.
But starting at the beginning, did you have any?
Or what did your parents call you when you were on their stuff?
Coming up in the family, my family name was Tori Bell. So I was always little Tori Bell, the innocent little girl, the pretty little girl who wants to sing. And that was up until about middle school. I was living in Austin, and you know how it is, like when you kind of like go through a roster of students and they usually call off like your first initial, last name, or first name, last initial. Right. One of the teachers called me out by T Little, and a lot of the students were like, she's a rapper. T Little. Yes. Okay, that's nice. Like T-L-I-L. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like 12, 13, 14. I was sticking with that. Right. As I got older, I was like, nah, T Little's cool, but T Lil, I'm not really too Lil. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's my last name, don't get me wrong, but I'm not too Lil anymore. So then it started becoming just T Little and then just Tori. It was just Tori for the longest. But then when you try and search it on platforms under just Tori or Tori with some people, I don't know, they'll spell it like Tory, Torie. I'm like, nope, it's just Tori for the longest. It's just like, well, nothing ever comes up. So I just went with Tori Little. So that's my actual name, my first and last name. They're like, oh, is that your real name? Yep, that is.
I swear I saw a hashtag that was like LL something. That wasn't, you didn't go by that at all? It was like, I'll look it up. I'll look it up later, but yeah.
No, just T Little or Tori Little, all those.
We've got 1 minute till our break. I wanted to ask, do you think using your real name as your artist name adds a weight or a responsibility to entertaining or performing or giving people the bang for their buck?
Kind of. I guess so, yeah. Because it's more me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a stage name. It's not a different persona. It's literally the name I was given at birth. So it's like, it's not like, oh, if you really know me, my name is Tori. Everyone calls me Tori. But if you're someone on the outside, they call me T Little. It's like, no, you call me whatever you're comfortable calling me. Tori, Tori Little, T Little. T, like whatever you're comfortable calling me, that's just what I'm comfortable with. I never really tried going by the alternate name, but I feel like if I did, it'd take me a while now to adjust. Like if it was something different than calling my name, I'm like, who are you guys? Oh, me, that's me. Right. But yeah, no, it's just Tori.
Well, we're sitting down with just Tori Little here on DogStar. We'll be right back.
Bow wow. Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're in the midst of chatting with Tori Little. Kind of working our way through the timeline right now, talking about performing and writing songs at an early age, the collaboration with the early Push Records crew. Yeah. So we're in the booth right now recording again with the same group of people. What is the first time you were on stage after the long hiatus?
Oh, first time on stage, I want to say it was 2019.
Okay.
We're doing our first Push the Culture show.
Right.
And it was actually supposed to be me and one of my friends as like a set, like as a group, but she got scared, wimped out, so it was just me. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm doing this by myself. I wasn't expecting to, but okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, so I go up there, I do my couple songs. I messed up halfway through and I'm like, it's okay, I'm gonna just keep going. The crowd was amazing. Like they noticed I messed up. They're like, no, just keep going. And I'm like, okay. Kept going. I finished both of my songs and I remember I immediately, when I was done, my set was over, I got off stage and I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I messed up. It's been so long. I messed up. And she's like, it's okay. It's been a long time since you were on stage. So it's, you're just getting comfortable with it. But oh yeah, that first time on stage, I was so nervous. I have my times where I occasionally mess up in a verse, but oh no, I messed up the half of the first verse, midway through the second verse. I think the only thing I really had was the chorus. Yeah. But I still kept going.
Exactly. You just got to keep the vibe. And I'm sure they applauded afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. They showed a lot of love, especially the team. They were like, hey, we're just glad you went there and did it. Yes. You know, this is just the first of many. And I'm like, you're right. But I just wish I could have did better. But no, I just look back at it as a step up. Yeah, elevation for sure.
And truly was the first of many with that crew.
Man,
what do you do? What do you do nowadays to prepare for a show?
Just when it comes to rehearsal, making sure I have my my lyrics under control and my breath control. So as long as I know all that is good, everything else will be kind of nerve-wracking at first when I get on stage. But I know mentally, as long as I have my words and my breath down, everything else will come naturally. Right. Everything else. I kind of just get, I don't want to say in a daze when I'm on stage, like I don't black out, but I get in the zone. I really do, because I'll be performing. I'll be through my third song. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm really doing this. I'll get to my last song and I'm like, dang, I'm done already. Yeah. It goes by really fast, but I just get myself in that zone once I am up there. But yeah, preparation, my breath control and my lyrics, those are my biggest concerns. If that's good, then I'm all good.
Doing that like in the car or in the mirror in the bathroom?
In the car, yeah. Before I go into the place, if it's before my set, I'm in the bathroom like, okay, gotta go on this song. Remember, take your breath right here. Remember, this verse starts off with these words, and then everything flows.
Yeah.
Everything flows.
First words, write them down.
Exactly, literally. Like, okay, yep, they're on my water bottle. I got them right here.
Boom, boom.
But nowadays you are prepared. In the rare occasion you do make a mistake, to at least play it off and keep going. Versus,
Exactly. I feel like that's why I messed up that first time. I'm like, oh, don't let the audience even know that I messed up. But now they're like, oh, you messed up? I didn't even see it. I'm like, okay, good. Then I didn't mess up.
Exactly.
So it works for me.
So when we were digging around, we were trying to get the timeline musically down.
The discography, and including some tracks not available everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. I think the oldest stuff I could find was on the Push Records YouTube. With Solitary.
Yeah.
Is that the earliest stuff that people can
as far
find?
as drop,
that's a great project.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know it was something, we were really getting started as Push, and they were like, we really need you to drop something ASAP. And I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of stuff in the vault, but I can definitely get something done quick.
Right.
And I wasn't, oh my gosh, at the time, I barely had enough money to even buy a new car and pay my car insurance. I definitely didn't have any money to pay for a real studio session with a real engineer. So we had a mutual friend who did recording in his bedroom, in his closet. So it was a start for me. It was a start for me. So I was like, okay, I just need to come in here, record my songs, just make sure they sound good. He wasn't really at all familiar with mixing and mastering. So I'm like, okay, I don't like how this sounds, but like, okay, well, we're in a crunch, so we got to get it done at this time. You know, as long as it sounds like it's you and it sounds good. I'm like, okay, I guess. But like, I know the songs are good as far as me writing them, my highest quality, everything that I could do personally. But when it came to recording, mixing, mastering, everything I had no idea about yet, I was just kind of going with the flow. Like, okay, if you say it sounds good, then it sounds good.
What was the duration of time between you need to draw something ASAP and the drop of that project? The drop of the project was, I want to say was April 2019, and like January 2019 when we had our first real, actually I want to say it was a podcast as well with DJ Khaled, another interview where we each did a little freestyle video, and it was all of us there as a group. So it was probably like in total we had three artists, me, AK, and then a different artist at the time, and then we had all like our background characters and our supporters, like our entourage in a sense. So from there they were like, okay, yeah, we need music from you ASAP. The people are loving your freestyle, they're loving how this sounds. We got to get this out now. So I was like, okay, let me see what I can come up with. So yeah, the clock starts now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I finished in about 3-4 months with the mixing and mastering and everything. So I was like, that was the first real project I dropped, and it was just so raw in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a very exciting time.
It was.
Do you remember what else was going on in your life when you were writing those songs?
COVID. Well, not yet. Prior to COVID, but nothing really exciting, I'd say. More so the reason why I wrote the album. So like, at the time I was working at Taco John's part-time, didn't really have too much money, started going to school part-time, but then quit because I didn't like it. I was in a really, really, really toxic relationship. So I wasn't in a great headspace per se, but
could argue.
the music definitely came from it.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say good headspace for R&B.
exactly, you know, like, it definitely came from the heart. So, yeah, nothing else too crazy or monumental in my life that I could think of that was going on during that time. No.
And then you were performing those songs a bunch with Push?
A couple of them, yeah. We weren't really getting too many book shows quite yet. But once we did, I had a couple songs I was performing off there, and other ones that I was writing along the way that I recorded in a real studio that I actually liked performing.
Okay.
So yeah, as far as the ones off that album, a couple of them have been remade, put on a different beat, or like kind of took the words from it, put it in a different song.
Yeah.
But
like
yeah,
a redux.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A remake of just, well, I don't want to say all the songs, but a few of them, yeah. I was like, yeah, that... Even thinking back, like, it was a good album to drop at the time and let everybody hear my voice a little bit, kind of get a feel for me. But yeah, compared to where I am now, which is still not even where I want to be the furthest, it's just so much further than I was there. Like, it makes me so proud. It makes me happy because I'm like, I liked it, but I really like where I am now, and I'm going to love where I am in the future.
Definitely.
But,
yeah. What's like, what are the, I don't want to make you list a certain number, but what are some things that are different now compared to that first project?
Compared to the first project, I feel like I'm way more comfortable in the studio. At first, I feel like I was kind of just going along with whatever everyone was around me was saying, like, like, oh, you need to do this, or you should probably sound like this, you should make this sound, or get louder with this part, or do this with that song. And I was just always listening to what they were saying. Now when I'm in the studio, I take into consideration what people say. But with this last album, a lot of it was really like, okay, yeah, this is all what I want. Like, I want this to sound like this. If one person's like, oh no, I hear you, I'm gonna take it into consideration, but I like how this sounds. So taking my own opinion over others, being more collaborative with artists. I don't think I had one feature on there, but she wasn't really more of an artist, just a friend.
Right.
So I've been way more open to collaborating. I was really shy about doing that at first because I didn't know if I would sound good on this song with this person. I'm like, are you sure you want me on this? But now I collab with just about anybody. Like, anyone that wants a feature, they're like, hey, how do I get a feature with you? Any DM or message, I'm like, tell me what do you want on the song, or when do you want it by? I got you.
You heard it.
You want a feature? Just DM me.
It's that easy.
It really is.
Oh,
it is.
I hope your inbox is full.
I know,
for this
right?
interview. That would be so cool.
That sounds good.
And then the next thing that I saw after that, or next thing I found, was For What? The music video single, all dropping at the same time. Like, that's got to take a lot to plan and make sure it's all going good. What was the inspiration for having such an organized drop?
Yeah, well, I assume it was less of a time crunch this time.
It definitely was.
Okay.
It was. It was for sure. So with that, before that, probably that dropped August 11th, 2021. So I want to say during that summer with Push, we were kind of trying to figure out where we are as a collective and as individual artists. Okay. So I was so into the group, I wasn't really focused on what I wanted to do on my own. So I had a couple of friends come in, a couple of my girlfriends, I should say, one that I've grown up with since I was a child, one that I met in high school. And they were like, we want to be your managers. Like, you're working in a group with all guys. You're not really sure. They're like, they don't know what you want. Like, you need that female intuition, that female input. And I'm like, okay, I could try it. So I had them come in as my managers for the summer, and they were really on me about getting the song recorded, getting it sent to whatever videographer who wanted to do it, or whoever wanted to record it, and then someone to mix it. And I'm like, okay, or to edit it. And I'm like, okay, I got you. So we did the video, like June or July. I know it was so hot. I was sweating so bad that we were in the cars outside. Oh man, it was so hot. But we were having a lot of fun. That's what I really enjoyed. It was a fun video. My first real music video. It was, I think we actually shot it on an iPhone too, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey,
if it wasn't an iPhone, there was like another little camera, nothing too professional.
Yeah.
But they pushed me to do that. We finished that, got that sent, got that edited by another, one of their mutual friends that did videos.
Sick.
And we dropped it on that was my 22nd birthday. So yeah, 2021. And it got over 1,000 views in the first day. And I was like, okay, this is love. I gotta keep going. Dropped it on, dropped it on the single and the video on my birthday. So they're both out, and since then they've been good.
Leo?
Yeah.
Okay.
August 11th, I'm Leo. Yeah.
There you go. So you had the song wrote and recorded before you did the video?
Right. Yep.
What was going on in your life when you wrote that song?
Oh man, like I said, I had previously got out that toxic relationship about 2019, 2020. So from there on out, I was just kind of doing my own thing, single, talking to who I want to talk to, do what I want to do. And it was always the guys that always wanted to question me, you're not my father, you know what I'm saying? You're not paying my bills. You're not a number one man in my life. Don't ask me a bunch of questions, you know what I'm saying? Especially if we're not involved. So, and it happened often. I thought I was just going crazy. And I'm like,
interesting.
Is there something that I'm giving off for you to, kind of act this way towards me? So I'm like, every time they're like, oh, can I come see you for what? Can we hang out for what? Like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do that? For what?
Right.
So I feel like for a while I was saying, for what? And all my friends are like, the girls were like, you should do a song like that. And I'm like, I might have to. And that's exactly what I did.
Yes.
Literally. It's so funny because it's like the summertime, you're in your glow, you're in your prime, you're outside, everyone's seeing you. So I'm like, the summertime just must give you guys a whole bunch of extra confidence that shouldn't be there because why? But yeah, no, definitely just about that going on in my lifetime or my life around that time.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
It is.
So, and then was it more your new management squad or Push who was kind of helping with make sure you have all this done before you start telling people when it's gonna drop, or don't just drop the song, have the video ready.
Yeah, the rollout.
Definitely. Yeah. Push was kind of in my ear about it at first. But like I said, I'm the only girl. A lot of guys, I wasn't really trying to listen to their input at first. But then I have my girls that are like, no, you actually should listen to them when they're saying this. Get this done at this time. Do this, do that. Have it to us. Have it sent to us and finished by this time. And then we'll have it dropped by this time. So they were, like I said, especially one of them being like my sister, grew up with her. She was definitely on my tail. She's like, you need to stop playing. Seriously. Calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning, you going to the studio today?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, girl, I'm going. Yeah, no, if it wasn't for them, I definitely wouldn't have dropped that around that time. It probably would have been, last summer. Whoa. Honestly, yeah. They were pushing me.
Were they artists as well, or how'd they have so much, just fans of music?
Fans of my music. Fans of AK's music, fans of the local music. They have been to a bunch of local shows with us since us popping out. They were like, oh, yeah, we didn't even know, Minnesota was this talented. And I'm like, no one does, so you got to really get outside and see. Yeah. But yeah, no, from seeing that and seeing how other people were performing and getting the love that they were getting, they were kind of just paying attention, taking notes, you should try doing this. We've seen so-and-so do this. You should do this too. This might work for you, or this might not work for you. So they were really just kind of paying attention on the outskirts, getting real observant with everything, you should try this. And then certain things I tried and did and certain things I tried and didn't like. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with the input that you guys were saying. I'll focus on what I do what I'm comfortable with. Right. People were definitely trying to get me out of my comfort zone, which I'm trying to get comfortable with, getting out of my comfort zone now.
I mean, it seems to be a recurring theme, not letting your relatives' opinions weigh you down, not letting the people who immediately influence your art weigh you down.
Exactly.
Staying the course from within.
Exactly.
I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you think you would work with a stranger better as a team member, a manager? Because it sounds like you were friends with Push beforehand and you knew your managers. And
that familiarity.
Seems like you have no problem telling them what you actually want.
Right.
So it's
and it's and I guess no preference really. I guess maybe with a stranger, it's more they have that outsider input instead of someone that I'm comfortable with. I'm not saying I'm not considering your opinion, but as far as it's someone that I know and care about, oh, yeah, I hear you. As far as someone who's just looking at the music side of me, my business side, I really think you should do this. So it's okay. Especially if there's someone who's worked with somebody else before that has done great or done something good, then I'll definitely take it into consideration. But I feel like it's just maybe I guess, yeah, working with a stranger, just letting them know this is what I'm going for. Before with people I know because I'm more comfortable with them. I know what they're going to say.
And it's less personal when you say no, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. I could agree with that.
But yeah, that's a huge accomplishment, getting that 1,000 views the first day that.
Yeah.
Phenomenal rollout. I would definitely work with that group of ladies again.
It was so fun. That was the first video I ever did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get...
That was more barsy than normal.
That was more rapping. Yeah, that was rapping. I wasn't even singing. Yeah.
I was
That
going to
was
ask if you had any, were you directing any of the video? Were you saying, all right, we need to have a scene like this in there? Or were you just focused on the lyrics and being the star of the video?
The lyrics and the star, yeah. I really, I'm creative when it comes to writing the music, but when it comes to like video, unless I have like a solid video idea in my head for a song, like, oh, I can see this, I can see that. I am just not creative when it comes to making like unless I know exactly what it is to the T.
Right.
I'm not creative at all. I'm like, what ideas you guys have? Like what kind of video do you want to see? Like I don't know. It's something else I'm working on and trying to pay attention to too. But I don't know. When it came down to that first one, I was like, yeah, so what you want me to do? You want me to drive over here? Okay, you want me to look at you, look this way and then rap, away from the camera? Yeah. I'm working on it though. I'm really trying. I'm not that creative in that point though.
Yeah, no, being able to ask for help for the stuff that you want help with and being able to say no with the stuff you don't want help with is like, definitely a strength.
The balance.
Yeah, some lessons artists don't learn until it's too late, one would argue. So you're learning these lessons early on, which I think is attributed to your trajectory for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Now, believe it or not, we've only got 30 seconds left before the break. Want to make sure everybody goes and finds Tori Little on Spotify.
Yes.
And then you can follow Tori at T Little. It's TLITT.
LLE.
Perfect. Yeah, 3
on
L's.
Instagram.
3 L's.
So yeah, easy to find. Follow Push Records as well to follow the whole crew. Follow DogStar Podcast.
Yeah,
push. Exactly.
We'll be right back. We'll be talking about this most recent release. Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We are flying through our interview here with Tori Little, working our way through the discography. Talking about For What coming out and the music video for that and your involvement in that.
Yep.
And then what we have in our records is Meant to Be was dropped as a single.
Yep.
Prior to it being released on the album.
Yep. Last year.
Another birthday drop.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Got the power of the Zodiac working.
That fire.
And then the full project dropped last day of the year, or second to last day of the year, December 30th, 2022.
Available on platforms on New Year's.
Okay,
Yep.
Cheers.
Nice.
And that was the album.
Yep.
Was I right or wrong?
Was I right or wrong?
And that's available everywhere right now.
Everywhere.
And
was
that's
I right or wrong?
This Is Who I Am
Exactly,
album.
yes.
This Is What I Can Do. Teamed up with Styx, correct, for the production of that?
Yep, Beats by Styx. Shout out if you want to get Beats by Styx. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Great engineer.
What can you tell us about the formation of that album? Again, it sounds like you had a little bit more time to formulate it, get the team together.
More with that album, definitely it was in the studio a lot more in my feelings and my emotions. They were definitely kind of flowing. A lot of the time it'd be me and Styx or me, Styx, AK. He was a good kind of like feedback guy. I'm like, okay, he's on my team. I'm like, okay, I need your feedback on this song. Let me know. Should I do this or should I do that? But most of the album, I was just like, okay, for this song, I want it to sound like this. So I had intro to kind of introduce the album, like, this is what it's going to be about, was I right or wrong? I'm really going to get into it. And then the second song being Meant to Be, Come Over, Decisions, everything literally just kind of cruised down with like the time frame. So like the first half, was I right? You know what I'm saying? This is the intro. Is it meant to be? Should you come over? Like now I got to stop and make this decision. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that glitters ain't gold,
You're blowing my
it's a
mind.
love-hate thing. Now I got to forgive and forget,
Wow. As a fan, you're blowing my mind.
A lot of people don't get it like that. They're just like, oh, were you right or were you wrong? And I'm like,
you got to follow the narrative.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. So kind of explain it a little bit.
I love that.
So was Styx a friend of Push, or how'd you guys?
He was actually. So he was already working with a lot of local artists with the beats. He had won a couple of beat battles at Urban Lights over on University. Oh my gosh. It was there that I seen him the first couple of times. I'm like, hey, I keep hearing about you. I need to work with you. So we're in the studio a good couple of times, the first couple of times. And whole time he's friends with like mutual friends that I knew back when I was in like elementary school and middle school. So it was like, okay, so I kind of get the same little vibe from you. We're kind of from the same area.
Okay.
We're all kind of cool. So from there on out, it was literally history. Like every time I'm like, hey, ready to get in the studio, ready to make this song, ready to get going.
Whoa.
But yeah, no, he was at Urban Lights. He won like 2 beat battles. Everyone on Push is like, you got to work with him. He's a great artist or a great engineer.
Yeah.
And he's amazing. He is amazing. Like, I don't even know any other ways to put it. That is family, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so for was I right or was I wrong?
Was I right or wrong?
Was I right or wrong? I'm so sorry. Question mark. How did you have the songs written already and then you matched them up with some of the beats he had, or did he make the beats for?
Yeah, so we actually, he probably was a little irritated by this, but I love him. There was a couple beats, so he's more, I feel like he's definitely versatile. He can make any beat. He doesn't do a lot of R&B beats, so there was a couple that I was like, okay, I really like your beat style, but this is more of an R&B album. So can we like sit down and try and figure out a couple R&B beats?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there was a couple we did sit down and try and do, and I'm like, oh, I like this, but I don't want this on the album, but I like this.
Yeah.
Like I can sing to this, but not with this song. So a lot of the beats actually, I want to say all the beats were off of YouTube.
Okay.
Ended up being off YouTube, but some of them he was able to kind of like edit, chop, put his own little thing on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you know what you were doing. But yeah, no, we made a couple of them, which I actually still have in the vault that I plan on recording and dropping soon. So he doesn't think I just wasted his time.
Right,
No, it ain't that. But no, he's great, especially on the spot. He can make any type of beat, like anything. I've seen him literally make a beat in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, how did you just do that? Like, where did you even just hear that? And then he switches up to a whole nother beat. I'm like, this ain't the same beat. This ain't the same beat. But yeah, he just added a little something different to it. But yeah, we worked on a couple of beats. Otherwise, everything else I got off YouTube. He was able to mix, master, work with, edit, chop, anything.
Wow.
Everything, anything,
That's
and everything.
So cool. So is that the go-to guy?
Definitely.
From now on?
Yep, he has been. He's probably going to do, he actually is doing these next couple of projects. I'm doing a collaboratory project with another artist that'll be dropping next month. And then my own little projects on the way that he's going to be on, that he's doing the beats for.
Whoa.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Yeah, you heard
Beats
it.
by Sticks. You guys got to go follow him, rock with him, work with him.
We talked briefly about Meant to Be, again, which you released as a single before you released it as the second track of the album.
Yep.
What can you tell us about Forgive, the last track of the album?
So that song actually, he was like an uncle to me. He was my mom's best friend growing up. He died the beginning of 2020.
Whoa.
And he actually wrote the first verse of that song, and he sent it to me about 6 months. We were supposed to, because he was someone who, he wasn't really on the music scene, but he was kind of an underground rapper, really low key, really old school. He's someone that loved my music, always told me like, Tori, you're gonna be a star. You know what you're doing. I loved him. I really did. I loved him. It was like I said, it was like an uncle. He passed away, and I was like, I gotta drop this song for him. Like, he sent it to me. It was in my inbox. I did it initially it was on Solitary on a different beat. So I had to switch it up a little bit, put it on a different beat that I had to buy, get all the licensing rights to and everything.
Right.
But yeah, I finished off the second verse and the last chorus of the song by myself. Otherwise, the whole first verse was from him. He wrote it. He had sent it to me in Messenger. He's like, I want you to record this. Your voice will sound perfect with these lyrics. Make sure you drop it just like this. And we never actually were able to get around to it. So when he passed away, I was like, I gotta do this for him.
That's
and
amazing.
It ended up being one of my mom's favorite. My mom loves it. Every time she hears it, she gets emotional. And I'm like, oh, stop it. He's here in spirit. But
exactly, a perfect tribute.
He was someone else who, he's like, yeah, you have to do this music stuff. You're definitely one of the ones who's gonna make it. So don't ever stop. So when he passed, I'm like, yeah, I have to. There's no holding on to this. I have to drop this ASAP.
Wow.
And it's been one of my favorite songs since. So I feel like it's the perfect way to end off a new year, end off a show, end off the day. Like, it's a nice little vibe. Forgive and forget. Moral of the story to life.
Yeah. And it's the whole project, such a good project that you're still hyping it. We were talking a little before the break about a potential music video.
Yeah,
what can you reveal? Meant to be.
Meant to be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty. The storyline is in the works currently. I'm working with the videographer. Yeah, the production is in the works. We're not. I don't want to give out too much because it's still certain things, but it will be here before the end of the summer. I can guarantee. my birthday is usually the hottest time of the year. So
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to be my birthday, but if you see it on my birthday, you don't be surprised, you know? maybe not. But
You've been surprising us and fans with your journey, with the lessons you've learned along your journey. Do you have any advice for the next wave of singers, of rappers?
Stick with it. Stick with it. Don't stop. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, if you feel it in your soul and you want to do it and you feel like if you don't do it, you feel incomplete with yourself, you have to do it. Don't stop. Don't put it on pause. Don't take a year off. Don't waste any time. Always do it. Always do it. Trust your mind. Trust your power. Trust your knowledge. Trust yourself. You got it. Make sure you do it.
Wow.
That's great advice.
Another chunk of wisdom.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. All the time.
And what advice do you have for, because you're obviously great at working with other people.
Yes.
What advice could you give to somebody about working with other people, or like reasons to work with other people?
Definitely be open. Be versatile. You never know what you can create until you try to create it. You never know what you sound good on until you hear yourself on it.
Right.
Just being open. Don't be scared, especially work with other artists. It just opens up so many more pathways. Like a couple artists that I've worked with that honestly like, have sent me a verse. I did the verse, never even met them in person, dropped the song, and it was good.
Okay.
But like, I've even had like people that they were working with reach out to me from there. And it's like, I didn't even meet this artist, but someone that you work with wants to reach out to me now. So it just definitely just be open. Yeah, it's really nice. I feel like that's one of the greatest parts is just collaborating as much as you can, because you never know who's watching, who wants to work with you. Like I've had people like music that I wouldn't even ever thought that I would hear myself on, people wanting to collab with that type of thing. Like, oh, I saw you perform at this place, you know, can you collab? How you feel about this song? How you feel about this beat?
Interesting.
And I'm like, I didn't think I would like it, but I do. Like, I really do like it. I'm like, I can sing on this. Yeah, we could do something. You want me to rap on this? I can absolutely do that.
So you'd never make an alternate persona to make, a song that maybe wasn't R&B or hip hop. Would you still do it as Tori Little?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Can't change who I am. I might could change how I sound on the song a little bit, but you'll still know it's Tori. Like, oh that's Tori. Okay. Like you might not know it's me at first because it sounds a little different maybe, but oh yeah, no, it'll definitely still have me in it for sure. For sure, it'll have my special little touch on it.
That's awesome. That's great news and open to collaborate.
Always.
That's huge.
Always.
We can't thank you enough for sitting down with us, for giving us, your fans, us as fans, a little peek into your process. Not giving away too much.
No, not too much. Just enough. Just keep you on your toes.
Yeah, exactly. Follow her on Instagram at TLITTLLE.
Double L.
3 L's.
Go check out Was I Right or Wrong?
The first L.
In total.
Oh my
3 L in
God.
total, sorry.
Was I Right or Wrong on Spotify?
Yes.
Going by Tori Little.
Thank
check
you.
out everything Push Records is doing.
They're doing big things. Yeah.
Check out the Mavum interview we got.
Yeah.
Thank
that's
you.
my girl. That's my girl.
Thank you again for taking the time out to sit down.
Thank you guys so much. This was great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the interest. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the platform.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Your number in my phone, now I'm calling you from home. Trying to figure out, can you pull up, are you alone? Tell me, do you want me as bad as I want you? Words just can't explain, but boy, if you only knew all the things I do to you, yeah. You're just my type, you know. You ain't the one to go real fast, you take it nice and slow. Keeping it on the low. Don't wanna rush into nothing, just going with the flow. Now go ahead, tell me what you want from me. You know that kind right there gon' drive me crazy. And you never felt too amazing. Come and put it down, tryna make you my little baby. Where you at? Can I see you what you want? Don't know why I'm cause boy, you got me so gone. I need to know just where you at, can I see you, what you want? Lately I've been trying, but it's been harder to move on. Where you at, can I see you, what you want? Don't know why I want you, cause boy, you got me so gone. Where you at, can I see you, what you want? Lately I've been trying, but it's been harder to move on, yeah. Thought I'd tell you how I'm feeling, can't hold it no more. From the first time I laid eyes on you, I knew for sure you was the one I'm trying to grow with. Peep me in my glow, sitting in front row, calling my name out here in every show. Yeah, you the one for me. Don't gotta add in no one else. It's just 1, 2, no 3. See, you get what I mean. Nobody else can understand. That's why it's meant to be. But you the one I'm tryna cater to. Know me better than I know myself. Why, yes, that's true. Tell me this what you wanna do. This love ain't familiar. This shit right here gon' be something new. Why can I see you, what you want? Don't know why I want you, cause boy, you got me so gone. I need to know just where you at. Can I see you, what you want? Lately I've been trying, but it's been harder to move on. Where you at? Can I see you, what you want? Don't know why I want you, cause boy, you got me so gone. Where you at? Can I see you, what you want? Lately I've been trying, but it's been harder to move on, yeah. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Ooh, tell me what you want from me. What you want, yeah, what you want. What you want, and can I see you? Where you at, can I see you? What you want, what you want. Lately I've been trying harder to move on.
Sometimes you gotta forgive, but you can't forget. That's just how it be, you know. I had love for this one dog, love was no return. Turns out that I would die for you, don't even show concern. As time would turn, he tried to burn me like a perm. Although my eyes saw the deception, my heart wouldn't let me learn from. I'm no dumb broad, no, not I. Every time he lied, I would cry, don't be that guy. My heart must have died 1,000 deaths. I took a break away from you and thought I'd never catch my breath. With nothing left, he stole the heart beating from my chest. I tried to call the cops, but that kind of thief you can't arrest. Pain suppressed, don't know how to deal with all the stress. Say I'm the best, but he convinced me that I'm worth less. When people interject, I tell them mind their business, cause my shit was complex and it was more than just the sex. Yeah, you ain't hear me though? My shit was complex.
So all the ones that I loved before, it's a new year. I done switched up my gears, I swear. I can see clearly the clouds disappear. I can forgive but never forget what you did to me, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What you did to me, yeah.
I used to like you as my sidekick, the one that I could vibe with and hit the block and get high with. But nowadays you on that slide. Said f the whole relationship, it's time to say goodbye. Cause I ain't feeling you, so before I end up killing you, I'ma have to get rid of you. You bogus looking pitiful. I'm doing me, so please proceed to be. Ain't no more commitment, go ahead, be wild and free. Sick of your mind games, you know that super lame. You should be ashamed because you up a good thing. Thought you was my Superman, protecting and treating me right. He is the bomb, but at the same time you're kryptonite. Hopefully it's alright, since you ain't around no more. I'm out here getting this dough while you somewhere being a trying to satisfy you as much as I can, but damn, you're looking stupid cause you're too late.
All the ones that I loved before, it's a new year. I done switched up my gears, I swear. I can see clearly the clouds disappear. I can forgive but never forget what you did to me, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What you did to me,